Yo, the streets are on fire and the hottest topic right now, Lil Baby just set it off in a way no one saw coming. We're talking about a confrontation so explosive, it's got the entire rap game on edge. And guess who's caught in the middle? DJ Akademiks. Yeah, the same Akademiks who's been known for talking reckless online. But this time, this wasn't just talk. Lil Baby pulled up on him and the world is still reeling. But here's the real twist, the footage just leaked. Yep, you heard me right. New footage shows exactly what went down, and it's more shocking than anything anyone could have predicted. Fans are losing their minds, Twitter can't stop talking about it, IG Live is buzzing, and the streets, they want answers. But wait, this whole situation is way deeper than just a beef. There are allegations, betrayals, family drama, and even whispers of a bigger conspiracy no one saw coming. Did Lil Baby just make a career-changing move, or is this the start of a full-blown war? You think you've heard it all? Nah, you're about to get the real story. Emotions are running high, people are picking sides, and the stakes are higher than ever. This is not just about Akademiks running his mouth, it's about who controls the narrative in hip-hop, who's really pulling the strings, and what happens when two giants go head-to-head. Trust me, you'll want to stay locked in for this one because the shocking truth is about to come to light and you won't believe where this is headed next. Here's what really went down. It all started on a seemingly quiet night, but as we know in the rap game, nothing is ever as quiet as it seems. The real drama was simmering just below the surface, waiting for the right spark to set it off. And that spark, it came when DJ Akademiks, yes, the same Akademiks known for stirring the pot with his online commentary, decided to throw some shade at Lil Baby on his IG Live. It wasn't anything new. Akademiks has made a name for himself as the underdog of rap culture, known for running his mouth and getting into feuds. But this time, he made the mistake of picking a fight with the wrong one. Sources claim Akademiks had been talking about Lil Baby's latest moves in the rap game, calling him out for not being as influential as other artists or for allegedly being too safe with his music. Fans in the comments were going crazy, egging Akademiks on, fueling his fire. But Akademiks took it further than just casual banter. He started bringing up personal stuff, things that had nothing to do with the music, digging into Baby's business, his personal life, and even his relationships with other artists. Akademiks was moving reckless on that IG Live, and it was only a matter of time before someone checked him for it. But Lil Baby wasn't just sitting back letting Akademiks talk his mess. No, that's not Baby's style. Word on the street is that Lil Baby had been watching Akademiks for months, seeing how he was poking at his career, throwing jabs in interviews, and using his platform to create narratives that weren't true. Some insiders say that Baby had ignored it at first, but once Akademiks started getting personal, the line had been crossed. It wasn't long before Baby hit up his team and said, "We gotta do something about this." The plan, simple. Pull up on Akademiks, catch him lacking, and so the situation escalated. The next day, it wasn't just words on social media anymore, it was real life. Baby pulled up to Akademiks' spot, and sources say it went down in a way no one expected. Now, we can't confirm all the details, but fans are going wild, saying that it was a straight-up confrontation. Akademiks, caught off guard, had no idea Baby was coming for him. Word is, when Baby walked in, Akademiks was frozen. He knew exactly what he was in for, but the question was he ready for the heat Baby was about to bring? In the leaked footage, you can see Baby stepping into the scene, his crew behind him, all eyes locked on Akademiks. The tension in the air was so thick, you could cut it with a knife. Akademiks, looking nervous but trying to keep his cool, says something along the lines of, "Yo, what's the deal, fam? What's all this about?" But Baby wasn't trying to talk. Baby wasn't here for a conversation. "You've been talking too much, Akademiks," he said coldly. "Now it's time to talk to me face to face." And that's when things went left. Some sources claim that Baby laid out all the disrespect Akademiks had been throwing his way, calling him out for everything, his comments on his music, the lies being spread, and the disrespectful narrative Akademiks was trying to push. But Akademiks wasn't backing down. Allegedly, he tried to defend himself, claiming that it was all entertainment, just his job to stir up controversy for clicks. "Ain't no personal beef, I just do this for the culture," Akademiks supposedly said, trying to justify himself, but Baby wasn't having it. "Culture? Nah, you been talking crazy, you think you're above it all, nah bruh. This shit's personal now." What happened next? That's where the footage gets murky. People are saying things got heated, words were exchanged, accusations thrown. A few people in Baby's crew reportedly had to step in, not wanting the situation to escalate even further. Some say there was a scuffle, but nothing major, at least not physically. But Baby made it clear that he wasn't just gonna let Akademiks slide. After a tense moment, Baby turned and walked out, the scene leaving Akademiks speechless. But what came next? That's where it gets even wilder. Shortly after the confrontation, sources say Akademiks took to social media to spin the narrative, which, let's be real, he's good at. On his Instagram Live, Akademiks quickly tried to flip the situation, calling Baby emotional and claiming that Baby couldn't handle the truth. The real question is, how is Baby gonna deal with this now? He's mad 'cause I called him out for not being a real influence, Akademiks allegedly said. But hey, it is what it is, I'm just doing my job. Fans immediately took to Twitter and social media went wild. Some were backing Baby, saying Akademiks deserved what was coming to him. Others sided with Akademiks, claiming Baby was being too sensitive over words that didn't mean anything. The divide was clear and the streets were shook. But here's where the story takes a dark turn, because just as the online battle was heating up, a new leak surfaced. A leaked video, footage of the confrontation, not just the heated words, but the entire scene was captured. And now, the world could see exactly what went down between the two. Fans immediately began circulating the video, analyzing every frame. Was Baby justified, or was Akademiks just doing his thing? Now, it's important to mention that this footage could change the entire narrative. Some are saying it's a game changer, but others are worried about how it'll affect both Baby's reputation and Akademiks' credibility. This isn't just about one rapper versus one media personality anymore. It's about how this could shift the entire game of how rap beefs are handled and how they're publicly spun by those in power. And that's where the stakes get real. The tension between Baby and Akademiks isn't just a social media beef. It's a reflection of something much bigger. This is about the future of the rap game, where artists and media personalities are in a constant tug-of-war for control over the narrative. This isn't just about music anymore, it's about who gets to tell the story. But what's next? What happens when the dust settles? Is this confrontation the breaking point for Lil Baby's career, or is it the start of a bigger war in hip-hop? Hold on tight, because this story is about to blow up, and trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Everything's about to change. The confrontation between Lil Baby and DJ Akademiks wasn't just a flash in the pan. Oh no, this was just the beginning of a massive storm brewing, and as the dust from that IG Live encounter settled, the real chaos was just getting started. Fans were picking sides, and the internet was set ablaze with reactions, debates, and explosive takes. But behind the scenes, things were escalating to a level nobody expected. After the confrontation, Akademiks, ever the media manipulator, didn't let up. In fact, some sources claim he was doubling down, using the incident to promote his next move. He knew the attention would be on him now, and like a true clout chaser, he was milking this beef for all it was worth. But the more he pushed his narrative, the more Lil Baby and his crew started to feel like this wasn't just a disrespect issue anymore, it was a full-blown attack on his character. By the next day, Akademiks was all over social media, posting clips from his live stream, laughing it off and mocking Baby for what happened. He even went so far as to post a meme that read, "Lil Baby got emotional, tried to pull up, but can't handle the heat." The diss was obvious and the shots were loud. Akademiks was pushing the boundaries, but one thing was clear, he wasn't backing down. He was playing his cards and getting under Baby's skin. But in the process, Akademiks made one huge mistake. He underestimated Lil Baby's response. Sources claim that Baby's camp wasn't quiet about this. Far from it. They were actively making moves behind the scenes, getting ready to retaliate. Word on the street is that Baby had already reached out to his team of lawyers and industry insiders to get advice on how to handle Akademiks. They knew this wasn't just going to go away. It wasn't a casual beef anymore, it was personal, and Lil Baby wasn't going to let Akademiks get away with dissing him on his own platform. Now, what's even crazier, fans were digging deep. As usual, Twitter was full of people speculating, analyzing every little detail from the leaked footage. But what wasn't being said publicly? Fans started questioning Akademiks' credibility. Some were digging through old clips, finding shady moments where Akademiks seemed to throw jabs at other artists, including Baby, who had stayed relatively silent until now. The streets were buzzing with whispers of bigger issues, like Akademiks allegedly trying to play favorites with certain artists, creating a divide in the community. Could this beef have been staged? Some started to believe that Akademiks had been playing the media game all along, poking at the bigger names for clout, while Baby, on the other hand, had been trying to keep his cool, knowing the game wasn't worth the drama. The rumors. They didn't stop there. In an unexpected move, Akademiks went even further. He allegedly reached out to a few key industry figures trying to get support for his stance. And it wasn't just about Baby anymore, it was about the entire generation of artists who had been on the come-up in the last few years. Akademiks began claiming that the new wave of rappers like Baby, Lil Durk, and others weren't keeping it real. He started accusing them of watering down the culture with their mainstream hits and not staying true to the essence of the streets. But was he right? Did Baby and the others really represent something authentic? Akademiks made his point clear with one bold claim: these new rappers are all about the bag, the fame, the looks, and the clout, but where's the soul? Where's the realness? This was a shot across the bow, a public challenge not just to Lil Baby, but to an entire movement of new school artists. He wanted to redefine what it meant to be a rapper in 2023, and he was coming for everyone who didn't meet his standards. But here's the kicker: the streets weren't having it. Baby's loyal fanbase, known for defending him like family, started clapping back on Akademiks with intensity. What started as online back-and-forths quickly turned into a full-scale social media war. Fans began pulling up old clips of Akademiks making questionable comments about other artists, calling him a hypocrite. Tweets started popping up with the hashtag #AkademiksExposed, with fans calling him out for the many times he'd been caught spreading rumors, making baseless claims, or simply stirring the pot for views. Even worse, the leaks of old DM conversations started circulating, texts between Akademiks and some major names in hip-hop, where he allegedly boasted about how easy it was to cause chaos online. Was this all just a scheme to get attention? Now you've got Baby's fans, the streets, coming in hot with receipts. One video in particular started gaining traction. It showed Akademiks laughing on a podcast, making jokes about his favorite rappers, where he allegedly implied that he had dirt on all of them, claiming he could take anyone down with just one click. Fans were outraged. It was one thing to poke fun at artists, but it was another to take it to this level. Akademiks was being painted as someone who wasn't just reporting on rap culture, he was in it, manipulating it, and causing division for his own gain. But Akademiks, he didn't back down. Instead, he doubled down, attacking Baby's manhood, saying things like, "If you can't take a joke, you're in the wrong game." And there it was, the gloves were officially off. Here's the real twist that got everything even messier. Sources claim that someone close to Akademiks leaked a private conversation between him and a rapper who had worked closely with Baby. In the conversation, Akademiks allegedly talked about how he felt underdog status was being stolen from him by the new wave of rappers like Baby, and how he had been stifled by the media landscape for too long. Could this beef be personal for him? Was this all a calculated move to make a name for himself at the expense of Baby's reputation? And Baby's camp, they didn't just let it slide. Inside sources say Baby was livid after hearing what Akademiks had been saying behind closed doors. Some of his close friends, who we can't name for obvious reasons, were even hinting that this wasn't just about music anymore. There were whispers about Baby feeling betrayed not just by Akademiks, but by the industry as a whole. Could Akademiks have crossed a line so far that Baby felt it was time to make an example out of him? Legal teams got involved. Baby's camp was reportedly looking into possible defamation cases, while Akademiks was scrambling to protect his brand and reputation. Some sources say Baby's team was exploring ways to hit Akademiks where it hurt, in the pockets. Could this escalate into a legal battle? It's too soon to say, but the tension is building. While all of this was happening, Akademiks dropped a bombshell. He posted a cryptic message on Twitter, something like, "When the smoke clears, y'all gonna realize who the real ones are." Was this just another shot, or was it a hint at something bigger? And now, the streets are in a frenzy. Fans are still divided, Team Baby or Team Akademiks. Some say Baby should have handled this differently, while others say Akademiks crossed a line he couldn't come back from. With new footage surfacing and accusations flying, the question remains, is this really just a rap beef, or is there something deeper at play here? The stakes are higher than ever, and trust me, this is far from over. This beef is about to spiral in ways we couldn't have predicted, and the real truth, it's still out there, waiting to come to light. Stay tuned, because the next twist is about to rock the rap game. Things are getting real now, and you're gonna want to be here when it all goes down. The situation between Lil Baby and DJ Akademiks has reached a boiling point, and now the streets are buzzing with intensity that's only growing. What started as an IG live spat between the two has spiraled into something much bigger than anyone imagined. The leaks, the back and forth, the drama, it's unfolding in real time, and everyone is watching, waiting to see who will come out on top. Let's get real, this isn't just about rap anymore. This isn't just about Akademiks or Baby throwing shots. This is a war for control of the narrative. It's about power, loyalty, and the ugly side of the music industry that's now spilling out into the open for the world to see. And as more leaks come out, as more dirty laundry is aired, things are getting darker by the minute. After the initial confrontation, things between Baby and Akademiks went to a whole new level. Fans were divided, some saying Baby was too sensitive, others calling Akademiks out for being a messy instigator. But one thing was clear, everyone was watching. And the more Akademiks pushed, the more Baby's camp started getting on the offensive. If you thought Baby was gonna take this lying down, you were wrong. What happened next was a game changer. Just days after Akademiks' reckless online taunts, a new leak dropped. And when I tell you this leak changed everything, I mean it. The footage wasn't just about Baby walking up on Akademiks anymore, it was about what happened after. Sources claim the footage showed Baby behind the scenes talking to his team. And the conversation, it was nothing short of explosive. Baby allegedly said something along the lines of, "I'm not just a rapper, I'm an artist, and this clown's trying to play me for a fool. He ain't got no respect for the game and he's using us for clout." Baby's frustration was clear. But here's where things get crazy. According to sources, Baby wasn't just mad at Akademiks anymore. No. He was mad at the industry itself. He felt betrayed by the media's treatment of him, by the way his name was dragged through the mud while Akademiks built his platform on the backs of real talent. And Baby wasn't just venting to his team, he was reportedly making plans to hit back in the most powerful way possible. Baby wasn't just dealing with Akademiks anymore. Now he was battling the entire narrative the media had been pushing about him. He knew that if he didn't take control, his image, his legacy, his brand could be tarnished beyond repair. The battle for public perception was on, and Baby was about to take the gloves off. But Akademiks didn't make it easy. As Baby's camp started putting the heat on him, Akademiks fired back. And this time, he wasn't just talking trash on social media. Sources say he was calling in favors, reaching out to big names in the industry, trying to rally support for his side of the story. One of the wildest claims. Akademiks allegedly tried to pit Baby against other rappers in the game, pushing narratives like, "Baby's soft, he can't take the heat, and he's got people pulling strings behind him." Fans were starting to see a pattern. Akademiks wasn't just aiming at Baby's character, he was now questioning his authenticity, trying to paint him as a puppet of the industry. And while some fans bought into it, others started seeing Akademiks for what he really was. A man who had built a career out of stirring up beefs, clashing with rappers for the sake of content. Akademiks was playing chess, trying to force Baby into a corner. But Baby was ready to play this game his way. Now let's talk about the family drama. You didn't think Baby's family wasn't involved, did you? Word is, when the beef started getting bigger, Baby's real ones, his close family members who have been with him from the start, started getting involved behind the scenes. And it wasn't all about picking sides. Some were worried that this beef could seriously hurt Baby's career, while others saw it as the perfect opportunity to put the media in their place. In an emotional phone call that somehow leaked to the public, Baby's cousin, who's been a part of his inner circle for years, was heard saying something like, "Yo, this isn't just some rap shit. Akademiks is trying to tear down everything we've worked for. Baby can't let that slide. But the problem is, the streets are watching, and if we move wrong, it's over." It's clear that emotions were running high, not just for Baby, but for everyone around him. The family was divided. Some wanted Baby to ignore Akademiks, let it go, and focus on the music. But others were all in, ready to ride for Baby, no matter what it took. The stakes were getting higher than anyone anticipated, and it wasn't just about rap anymore. This was about legacy and who gets to control the narrative. But there was a new twist, a new threat emerging from an unexpected place. Sources close to Baby claim that other artists were starting to weigh in, and I'm not talking about the usual suspects. Allegedly, some of the OGs in the rap game, those who have seen the rise of Baby, the rise of Akademiks, and the rise of the new school, were reaching out to Baby, trying to mentor him, trying to make sure he didn't fall into the trap the media had set. One anonymous source said they're trying to make Baby the next target. They want him to crash and burn like the rest of them. But Baby's got the power to shift this whole industry. He just needs to understand what he's dealing with. Was this just a conspiracy theory, or was there something bigger going on behind closed doors? The more fans and insiders talked, the more it became clear this was about more than just a feud. This was about control over the narrative, control over the industry. And Baby was starting to realize he wasn't just fighting Akademiks. He was fighting the system that kept these beefs alive, the system that kept rappers in line, the system that controlled the entire rap industry. And you know what? Akademiks wasn't backing down either. In a bizarre twist, Akademiks started dropping leaked messages, allegedly from his team, claiming that Baby's camp was trying to set him up. He even accused Baby of trying to ruin his career by manipulating the media against him. But let's be honest, was Akademiks just trying to get ahead of the story, or was this just more drama to keep the fire burning? But this was the moment that turned everything. A major family member of Baby's, who we won't name for privacy reasons, allegedly told sources that Baby had been feeling guilty about the whole situation, guilty about how the beef was affecting his fans, his brand, and his family. Was this the beginning of a breakdown, or was it all just a temporary low for Baby as he realized just how much was at stake? The real question now, who's going to walk away with the upper hand in this battle? And will Baby ever fully recover from the damage done? This isn't over by a long shot in the next chapter. Well, that's going to change everything. Stay tuned, because this story is just getting started, and trust me, you don't want to miss the next twist. The war between Lil Baby and DJ Akademiks has now spiraled into a full-blown battlefield, and no one is walking away unscathed. What started as an online spat has now turned into an all-out media war with real-life consequences. Social media is buzzing, fans are divided, and even some of the most influential names in the rap game are starting to get involved. And guess what? It's only getting messier. At this point, it's no longer just about Akademiks and Baby. It's about who gets to control the narrative in hip-hop, and Baby's team is feeling the pressure. They've seen the backlash, the rumors, the attacks, and the endless commentary from Akademiks, and now they're fighting back. But as we know, when the media machine starts churning, it can be hard to control the outcome. Every new leak, every new post, every new diss track, it only adds fuel to the fire. And now, it's a full-on inferno. Let's break it down. After Akademiks' relentless social media attacks, Baby knew he couldn't just stay quiet anymore. The streets had already chosen their side, but now it was time for Baby to take control of the narrative once and for all. Insiders say that Baby's team was working overtime, making calls to every corner of the industry, trying to clean up the mess, control the leaks, and figure out how to handle this growing situation before it got out of hand. But Baby, as calm as he usually is, was tired. Sources claim that Baby felt betrayed not just by Akademiks, but by the way the media, the industry, and even some of his peers were turning on him. Could this be the moment where the pressure became too much? According to those closest to him, Baby's team started to prepare for a full-on battle. This wasn't just about defending his name anymore. This was about survival. The first step in his strategy, a scorched earth approach. Baby wasn't just going to drop a diss track or make a few angry Instagram posts. Nah, he was going to hit Akademiks where it hurt, in the pockets. Sources close to Baby say that his team started reaching out to brands, media outlets, and even streaming platforms, trying to limit Akademiks' influence by getting him pulled from certain deals and projects. It wasn't just a personal attack, it was a full-blown business strategy. This was a takedown in the making, and Baby's team was playing the game like seasoned pros. But as Baby prepared to make his move, Akademiks was on the defensive, and that's where things took another turn. Word is that Akademiks, realizing the heat was on, started leaking private messages and conversations to the media, messages from Baby's team, supposedly showing how they were planning to come after him. He was trying to paint Baby as someone who was afraid of the public fallout, someone who couldn't handle the pressure. Akademiks started to spin the narrative, claiming that Baby was so scared of losing his good boy image that he was now trying to sabotage Akademiks' career. The more Akademiks talked, the more chaotic the whole situation became. Sources say Baby's team went into overdrive, trying to protect the rapper's reputation while also gearing up for a legal response. But here's the thing, Baby didn't just have his team working for him. He had some heavy hitters in the game who weren't afraid to get their hands dirty. Allegedly, Baby had reached out to some OGs in the industry, those who had been through their own beefs and battles with the media, to help him navigate the storm. These insiders, who we can't name, were said to be coaching Baby on how to handle Akademiks' smear campaign, telling him to keep his cool, but also to hit back where it hurts. But as Baby's camp ramped up their response, Akademiks wasn't sitting idly by. No way. Akademiks kept putting out content, more posts, more leaks, and even more personal attacks on Baby. At one point, Akademiks posted a private voice message from Baby, allegedly a conversation where Baby said, "I'm not worried about no internet clown. We do what we do in real life," as if to show that Baby was acting tough but hiding something else. This voice message hit like a bombshell, and it sent the internet into a frenzy. Was Baby just talking big on social media, or was there something more to his tough talk? But here's where things get even more intense. Fans were losing their minds over all of this. Team Baby was trending hard, with fans calling Akademiks everything from a clout chaser to a culture vulture. People were furious, defending Baby like he was family. But over on Akademiks' side, he had a whole different crowd. Fans who weren't necessarily fans of Baby but loved Akademiks' messy, in-your-face style were rallying behind him. Akademiks wasn't just a media figure anymore, he was a martyr to some, taking on the corrupt hip-hop industry in a battle of the old versus the new. But while all of this was happening, there was one thing that no one saw coming. A new diss track. Out of nowhere, Baby dropped a savage track aimed squarely at Akademiks. The song, which hit the streets and streaming platforms within hours of its release, had nothing but heat. Baby didn't hold back. Sources say the lyrics were personal, digging into Akademiks' credibility, his reliability as a commentator, and even his past relationships with other artists. Baby was using this track not just to spit bars, but to destroy the public image Akademiks had worked so hard to build. The track was a strategic missile aimed right at the heart of Akademiks' online empire. The diss was so raw that it made headlines across every major rap blog, with everyone from Charlamagne Tha God to Whack 100 weighing in. The conversation quickly shifted from Baby versus Akademiks to the impact of the diss track. Was Baby just venting, or was this a calculated move to reclaim his power and shut Akademiks down for good? Meanwhile, Akademiks was on the ropes. After Baby's savage track dropped, Akademiks went into damage control mode. He fired back with his own podcast episode where he tried to downplay the situation, claiming the beef was nothing personal and that he was just doing his job. But let's be real, nobody bought it. Fans and critics alike started picking apart every word, looking for cracks in Akademiks' defense. The more he spoke, the more it seemed like he was spiraling, trying to save face in a situation that was rapidly slipping out of his control. But here's the most shocking part of all of this: the phone call. Sources say that Baby's team made one final move, a calculated phone call that would change everything. Allegedly, Baby reached out to Akademiks directly, not through the media, not through social media posts, but with a personal phone call. This was a power move that nobody saw coming. And guess what? That phone call, according to insiders, was emotional. Both men allegedly had a heated conversation, and Baby's team claims that during the call, Baby said, "I'm done with all the talking. If you keep disrespecting me, we'll see each other again." It's not clear what happened on that call, but sources say that things got personal, and from that moment on, everything changed. With all the drama swirling, the real question remains: what's next? Has this beef really come to an end, or is this just the calm before the storm? Will Baby continue to retaliate, or is this where the industry comes together to mediate the mess? And what's next for Akademiks? Is his empire of gossip and chaos starting to crack under the pressure? Yo, things are getting crazy, and you don't want to miss what's coming next. Lil Baby and DJ Akademiks have both taken their shots, but who's really winning this battle? Was it all worth it, or is there something bigger at play here? The streets are still divided, Team Baby or Team Akademiks, and what's next? Will Baby's team make another move, or will Akademiks come back swinging even harder? There's so much more to this story, and we're just scratching the surface. So here's the deal: I need you to drop your thoughts in the comments. Who do you think came out on top in this beef? Was it personal for Baby, or was Akademiks taking things too far? Let me know your hottest take on this whole drama. And while you're at it, smash that like button if you're loving the heat, and don't forget to subscribe for all the latest updates. Trust me, this is far from over. The next chapter is going to shake the game, and you'll want to be the first to know. Stay locked in because this drama isn't slowing down. Who's really behind all this chaos? Let's talk about it.